Alright, hey guys, I thought I'd make a little guide on espresso drinks because I know it can be intimidating going up to the counter. Not everyone knows exactly what the drinks are, so I'm here to explain to you a little bit about that. But also you shouldn't be scared to ask your barista what each drink is. I'm sure they'll be happy to answer any questions you have. But first I want to go over some foam amounts because that's like the main difference between most of the main espresso drinks. So we have a flat white, a latte, and a cappuccino. And the main difference between these is literally just the foam amounts. So flat white is the least amount of foam. The orange on the bottom is the espresso. So they all typically usually have the same amount of espresso, except for flat whites in some places, they might have a little bit higher ratio of espresso to milk. So if you're concerned about that, just ask the barista how many shots are in each size. So that's the least amount of foam on top. The rest is just steamed milk. A latte has a medium amount of foam, and then a cappuccino has the most amount of foam. And the terms that we use to describe that is like wet to dry, or some people say flat when it's a little more wet. So if you want a cappuccino with even more foam than it usually comes with, you can ask for it extra dry. And if you ask for it like super extra dry, they'll give you basically a cup with just like all milk foam. So what seems to confuse people the most are macchiatos. So a regular latte and a macchiato latte are not going to be that much different. They're the same amount of foam, the same amount of milk, same amount of espresso. The only difference is literally just how it's poured. So in a latte, the espresso shot is put in the cup first, and then the milk's poured over it, and the barista mixes those two together while they're pouring, and then they'll get a little latte art on top. A macchiato latte is the opposite, so they pour in the milk first, and then they pour the shot in on top. So the easiest way to remember this is the word mac in Italian means mark or stain. So the espresso leaves a little mark or stain on top of the milk when it's poured. So the only difference between those when you're tasting it is really just gonna be the first sip in a macchiato latte is gonna be bold and more espresso. There's gonna be like a stronger taste to it. And then as you go down, it'll get milkier. And then a latte should be like mixed pretty evenly through the whole thing. Macchiato espresso is just a double shot of espresso with some milk foam on top. So that's the aerial view of it. It's just like the milk is the marker stain that's on top. Another very common espresso drink that you'll see on most cafe menus is an Americano. So that's just espresso with hot water. It got its name when American soldiers were stationed in Italy and they all wanted just coffee, but all the cafes only had espresso. So the baristas would water down the espresso to give the same kind of feel as drip coffee. In Australia and some parts of Europe, they call it a long black. That just means espresso with hot water. A short black is just a double shot. So long just means there's more water. If you get a macchiato espresso and ask for it a little bit longer, that just means more milk. So last one I got right here is a cortado, which basically is a short latte. The word cort means short in Italian, so that's how you can remember that. They also call it a piccolo in some parts of the world. But it's basically just a double shot of espresso with equal parts steamed milk, so it's gonna taste a lot stronger. And the foam amount is gonna be the same as a latte. Those are all the most common espresso drinks that I could think of off the top of my head. If you think of any other ones, feel free to comment, or if you have any questions, then just comment on it. And remember, if you're not a barista, you are not expected to memorize all this stuff, so don't be afraid to ask your barista. Any good barista will be super excited and happy to talk to you about coffee, so don't be shy, we got you.